Law 5, the law of dominance. The more you believe in your idea, vision, or concept, the more real you make it. This is verified by the faith can move mountains beliefs in spiritual texts and the common adage, if you think you can, you are right. The more dominant a belief is in your head, the more likely it is that the belief will manifest. There is a dynamic circular action between all the laws. A thought repeated often enough and with strong feeling will become entrenched in the subconscious and ultimately will manifest. Continued manifestations then lends belief and credibility to your ability to create, thus empowering the act of you creating. The reason you have adopted your parents' faith, values, and beliefs is that you have been exposed to them over a period of time. In turn, they have programmed you to accept them because they were regularly shared with you so often that you now accept them as your own beliefs. If this is how you were originally programmed, it makes sense to continue with this method to reprogram yourself. Keep telling yourself positive affirmations and keep visualizing the preferred outcome. It is only a matter of time before your mind accepts these things as immutable facts. Much of what you currently see is not real. Much of what you believe is not correct. But whatever you do believe will become a dominant thought, action, or habit. Over time, your dominant belief will be absorbed by your subconscious and created. If what you believe will ultimately manifest, then it is time to take a step back and consider what it is that you believe. What are your dominant thoughts about anything and everything? And start to change those thoughts into an outcome that serves you. How much simpler or stronger can I spell this out? What you believe will ultimately manifest. What do you want to manifest? Now change your thinking accordingly. Don't like pain? Don't create any. Stop complaining about your problems. For anything that does not serve you, stop making it real. Any subject you give your attention to will grow. Energy flows where focus goes. A big step in your consciousness journey is realizing you have been programmed to look for bad news and to act on it. Realizing that you are programmed by society. You say the same things, complain about the same things. Have you talked about the weather recently? Where did you learn that trick? Realizing that as your thoughts create your life and experiences, to start being mindful of what you say and what you think and what you do. The majority of the current world seems to be looking for something to be offended by. These people are not happy and never will be for as long as they hold that mindset. There will always be something to complain about or be afraid of. Because if that is who you are, the universe is a mirror and sends you more of what you are. Instead, why don't you look for something to be grateful for? Whatever is in your head is the signal you are sending to the universe. Is the universe a massive, scary place where you always need to be on the lookout for danger? Or is the universe a magnificent creation where you are responsible for making miracles happen? Your new life can only start once you realize that happiness is a choice and choosing to make that choice. Amazingly, whether we are left or right-brained affects how we experience consciousness. Generally speaking, a left-brain dominant person believes that they are a separate entity, an individual not connected to any higher power. Generally, a right-brain dominant person believes in a sense of unity with a higher power, either religiously, spiritually, or metaphysically. These opposing beliefs might explain the ongoing war of viewpoints between science, religion, and spiritualists. And so the law of dominance even extends to the physical realm. It dictates whether you approach your life as a skeptic scientist, for example, or an accepting spiritualist, or something in between. The dominant neurotransmitters for the left brain are dopamine and acetylcholine, and for the right brain, norepinephrine. The different chemicals appeal to either side of our brains, which evoke a certain behavioral response. Whether we are left or right brain determines much of our character and behavior. But our emotional state and external events both generate specific chemicals inside us that can affect which side of our brain is dominant at any given time. This also explains why we are not just left-brained or just right-brained. We constantly cross over between the two. We are addicted to the release of neurochemicals such as dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. This addiction to these neurochemicals leads us to be dominated by our primitive mind, the amygdala. The more we engage in this low consciousness behavior, the stronger and more dominant our primitive mind becomes. At some stage, we encounter a consciousness shift, a point where we realize that we are more than just chemically addicted animals, and that there is a higher purpose for ourselves. When this happens, we have started on the path to consciousness. As the fifth law of creation, the law of dominance is simply this: whatever is the strongest idea, belief, or concept in your head is the one that will be adopted by your subconscious. Because you are now realizing how powerful you are, in that you create the outcome you experience, you can now begin to line up the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas in your head in terms of priority and in terms of the desired outcome. For every good and strong thought, you are making a deposit. In any given day, you have a finite amount of energy. Why waste that energy on negative thoughts or actions? It may take time for you to realize the impact of your thinking. To help you grasp this concept, think of your subconscious mind as a bank. Whatever you deposit will grow and will earn compound interest. Deposit thoughts of prosperity, wealth, success, love, joy, and gratitude. And know that when you have thoughts of fear, anger, doubt, anxiety, then you are making a withdrawal from that account. What you believe will ultimately manifest.